A city and a community is built on many things. There's the economics, there's the flavor, there's the feeling, but there's a study been done in the United States on livable cities. And the purpose to look at livable cities are those cities that provide a cultural outlet for their community. And people are beginning to decide what type of community they want to live in. Do you want to live in a community where there's a zoo and good schools, where there's live theater and an opera and a ballet and an orchestra? And we are blessed here in the metropolitan area that we have over 135 arts and cultural groups. What we're doing is we're giving people an escape. We're giving them a chance to experience something and to escape from the news of the day, to escape and heighten their awareness and giving them another quality of life.
It's the joy of live theater to hear people laugh, to see them escape from the problems of the day, to see in their eyes them recognizing maybe something that they're familiar with in their own family. I was born and raised in New Albany, Indiana. And I started acting around here. Like most actors, I started in school, and then I went to Indiana University and majored in theater there. After graduating from Indiana University, I taught locally at New Albany High School for 3 years, and then I went into business for several years. After being in business, I realized that I was missing my true passion, which was acting, so I decided to get back into it. I moved to California and began acting there. I acted on stage and on television and in film there. I appeared on such soap operas as Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. I've done what we call episodic TV, meaning weekly television series. I did LA Law and Hunter and Wise Guy, things like that. And that was in the late 80s. I have 2 daughters back here, and I'm missing them tremendously, and I was missing out on their lives. So I decided to move back, and Derby Dinner Playhouse offered me an opportunity to come back and still pursue my passion, acting. You know, when you do television and movies, that type of thing, it's totally different. You're doing it not in front of a live audience, but usually in front of a crew. You know, the crew's great, and they're all supportive and everything, but they can't react, they can't laugh out loud, they can't do what a live audience can do. In live theater, you have the excitement of once that curtain goes up, it's you and the audience, and that's all it is.
I have devoted all my life to theater because I don't know how to do anything else. It makes it real simple. Some people know what their calling is at the very beginning. At 16, this is what I was going to do. I've taught theater, I've studied theater, I have degrees in theater, I've taught at universities, I've directed around the country, I've acted, I choreographed, and I can't think of anything better. I can either go make widgets or I can make dreams and memories. Every day is better than the next. I can think of no place else where every day of my life is different work. And what a joy to wake up and say, well, today I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then go back and do that, that, and that. In some ways, I've never worked a day. I used to say to my children, Mom gets to go to work today. And that's kind of how I felt about it. The memories, the rewards come back to you when you have a season ticket holder that's been there for 20 years and looks at you and says, thank you. Or you have someone who says, my child had the best time today. So it's self-rewarding. When the dinner theaters began in the late 50s, early 60s, there were over 500 and 600 in the country. It is a phenomena to America, the dinner theaters. But in this country, there were bunches of them. There are now approximately 132 dinner theaters in the country. The reason why dinner theaters work today, and the ones that are working, is a couple of things. One, they're usually run by someone who knows something about theater. They used to be all run by businessmen who were in the restaurant business, but that's all changed. So they know something about theater. Number two, they have their specific audience in mind when they set a menu, when they set a season, when they choose an actor. Therefore, it has everything that customer wants. So you can go have dinner, dessert, drinks, parking. It is safe in that the family can come. The hardest thing I have to do as a producer is to choose the shows for Derby. But we have certain formulas that we follow. That formula may change every so often. But in January, we usually have a little more risque comedy because the older people who don't want to see anything risque at all, they don't come out in January. And the children are in school, so that's safe. And that's usually just a very funny comedy. In February, it's you have people who don't go out as much in February, so we can try different shows in February. They may be an offbeat musical. They may be a new musical that no one's heard of. By the time we hit the spring, the buses are beginning to roll through the city, and we do a more popular musical in the spring. Usually the first show in the summer is a comedy. Men don't like musicals. Men rarely like the comedies, but they love the mysteries. So in the fall, we always have a mystery. And that could be Agatha Christie or that could be something else, but it's for the men. Usually the women choose the tickets, but we like something the men might enjoy. In the summer, we look for our family entertainment. That could be Cats, it could be Beauty and the Beast, it could be High School Musical, but we look where the grandmothers can bring their grandchildren or all the family can come together. Early fall or late summer, we try to do a Christian musical, be it Smoke on the Mountain or Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And at Christmas, there's always a Christmas theme.
One of the things that a lot of people who haven't been to Derby Dinner Playhouse would find as perhaps a surprise and a pleasant surprise is the level of talent that we have here. And luckily, Becky Jo has been able to keep a lot of that talent around. I've worked, like I say, all across the country, and I've been in and out of this business for 40, 45 years. And it's some of the best talent I've worked with, and I consider it a privilege to work with them. Our technical crew, and any technical crew that I've ever worked with, I always kind of wonder being a guy in front of a camera, being a guy on stage, you know, where I guess you grow up, you're kind of a ham, you get up there and you get some recognition, you get the applause and all that. You always kind of wonder why the crew got into it to begin with, you know, because they truly are the unsung heroes. So they're amazingly dedicated people. If you want to do theater, it has to be your total passion. You can't even have the thought that you might want to do something else because it's a hard business. But even though it's hard, I promise you, if you love it enough, and if you are passionate enough about it, and if you are willing to stick it out and pay the price, I guarantee you will get an opportunity to do it.
You gotta love it. The money isn't there. You must love what you do and understand that what you do is giving. It is not always receiving. The people who are disappointed in this business are people who didn't realize that they wouldn't make as much as movie actors or television people. They just wouldn't make it. It's a very hard business. So if you want to be in this business, don't take out too many credit cards. Good luck on holding on and getting rid of your student loans. Watch your heart so you don't fall in love with someone in another part of the country. And keep your expenses down and try to figure out how to have a family. It's a very, very difficult business. But you will find that if you love it, if it is your passion, you can't do without it, so you're stuck anyway.